We're good? Would everyone please join me and rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You bailed early. Okay, so welcome everybody to the almost end of the school year school board meeting. And we still have a lot of business to do. And we're going to go to the quick view.
We got one.
Pardon me, what?
We're down one.
Down one.
Where's it at?
Hang on.
See? But you know magic appears.
Okay.
I can have a copy of yours. I just pulled it out.
Just what happened before, yeah.
It's
Happened last night?
just going attendance. She didn't need her
Sorry.
public comments. We can start with public comments. She doesn't need the computer for public comments.
What are you doing?
She didn't have her computer, but we can start with public comments.
Yeah, okay. Well, we can do the agenda too. We got it. We can go through that. So we'll get it. We don't need it for that. We did not have any discipline motions, so we will move on to the consent agenda. The agenda and agenda approval. I guess the consent agenda will end agenda approval. I don't know why they're two separate items, but on our agenda,
So I just click here, right?
we are going to add two items, and let's label them 5, because I don't want to mess up all the rest of the numbers. 5B. And they will be recognition of the David Fields Award winners and the Golden Ruler recipients. So we would do that 5B after initial public comments and then before 6. So I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda
I move to approve consent agenda as.
and the agenda.
And the agenda as amended.
Yep.
Second.
Okay, any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Corbett?
Yes.
Mrs. Thames?
Tell her we're approving it.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Mrs. Fowler?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you. That brings us to public comments.
Chris?
5A.
Chris Clapp?
Chris Clapp.
Bear with me. I think I'm loud enough. I'm Chris Clapp. I'm a retired school district 118 employee after 30 years. And I still keep following the board and what has went on. And I want to express my dissatisfaction in regards to the board's previous putting people back on the board. I was not happy with how the election went in regards to there was 3 higher vote getters. There was higher vote getters than the board member that you put on the board. Okay. Now I know that there was some, and I don't even know the gentleman. Okay. I want to state that at the beginning. I feel that the general public voted, and they voted that individual off. Okay, he only got 922 votes. There were other people that got more votes than him, and I felt that they should have been the one, if anybody, should have got put on the board. And actually, I think the fourth person should have been the one on the board, but the board decided not to. I guess as I understand it, your lawyer told you what you could do, what you couldn't do as to the legal ramifications. And I don't feel that, the people voted, okay? And I just don't feel that it was done right. And now I got some questions as to, and I'm going to use these words, who messed up? Was it the school board? Was it the superintendent? Was it the school board secretary? Was it the regional superintendent that messed it up in regards to there not being 4 people who ran for the school board instead of 3? Okay? Because there was only 3 positions open, but yet you had 4 positions on the board open. Okay? And then I don't agree with how all that come down. And I would ask that hopefully you'll give an explanation, Randy or whoever, if you're allowed to. And I think the general public ought to know, okay? I just don't agree with how that all went down. I've expressed my concern to a couple people on the board, and I told them I would be here tonight, and they were glad that I said that I would be here. And I just don't agree with how it went down. And I want to know, basically, if you're allowed to say where the mess up was. Was it the regional superintendent's office? Was it the board? Was it the superintendent? Was it the board secretary? Who was at fault for not having the 4th board member to be on the ballot to get elected? And I'll just basically leave it at that, and I'll move back over here in the corner and be quiet and listen.
Marietta,
We have a little slideshow for you. That's popping up from the first grade math challenge. Some of you did come, so thank you very much for attending the first grade math challenge. And I have 2 guests that I'd like to introduce.
Go ahead and introduce.
Okay, so first we have Rachel Siebert. She's our teacher that helps the students. We're a huge help. And so I wanted to make sure that we thanked her. The calculus students were hers, and then we had the stat students that were Kelly Yanka's, and they were a huge help, so I wanted to make sure that we got to publicly thank her. She had, they decorated the tables, they had signs for the kids as the kids were walking up the ramp, and they coached the kids really well. While they were there, they sat by typically the school that they went to, the elementary school that they attended, and it was amazing. They had t-shirts on. There's a picture of it when it gets going. You'll be able to see the whole group of students that helped, and I think they had a fabulous time.
Yes, they did.
They were amazing, but the time we started talking, I think in January or February, and it takes a lot of planning, but the thought and effort that Mrs. Siebert and the students have put into it. There they are, right there. You can see the picture. And WCIA did the most amazing story. They spent, it was a good long story that they put on the news. They came and covered it, and it's on our website. This is the drum line that was there as well. They were coached by Mr. Compton, directed probably is a better word, directed by Mr. Compton and Mr. Kraft. So we just want to thank them. This is Julie Cox from the curriculum office, and again, we started planning in July. Angela Wilson is our math coach, and she does quite a bit of the work. And she wasn't able to be here. Everybody else in our office had kid stuff tonight. Mrs. Cox did her kid stuff, or is running over here and then going back and doing kid stuff. So I wanted to make sure she came. And Rena Pate, again, this was her brainchild several years ago. Beth Edrington, Sarah Steinmack, Julie Cox, Brian Klett, Heidi Gula, and Kathy Whitty, and Christina Orr all had a huge hand in what went down. And I wanted to thank Mr. Rice because he helped at the door as the kids came in, and then he had a special job during that time, and he had, and then also he helped with awards. Gina and Cindy, Kelly, Brandy, and Patty Juarez from her office, we got to hand out medals that you'll see, but you've got to look at the kids' faces. It was just an amazing day. And then Molly and Lindsay were there from their office. And I'm probably forgetting people. Mr. Hart, Dr. Jacoby were there. It was just an absolutely amazing day. Some of the principals were able to come. They send their teachers and staff, the teachers from the buildings that were able to help. But we had all of our groups of first graders there. It just really was a great day. So please, next year, if you haven't come, you really need to come out and see it. It was, I don't know if you have anything. We have 1 minute and 41 seconds
That's
left.
fine. I'm grateful that we've continued this. We had to stop obviously because of COVID. And it's great just seeing some of these kids who this year were seniors go, I remember being in this. I remember doing this. And it was really fun. But the seniors, you never know how they're going to be with the kids, but they just light up and they have such a good time with the kids. So I'm glad the district is continuing this. I hope we do it for many, many years to come. Just keep promoting that love of math.
And you should have seen the kids when they walked up the ramp
So
at the clock tower with the students cheering,
Yeah.
and then with the drum line there, and just the math work that they did that day. But if you want to add anything, but
I'm good.
but I just can't thank everybody enough. There's a lot of work. There's them getting their awards at the end, and then we have cookies and lemonade from food service from Zeta. It was fabulous. They loved the cookies. And the punch too, the kids appreciated that as well.
Yes.
So they're just so cute. So
It's such a fun day.
if you need your spirits lifted, this is a good way to do it.
Yes.
So thank you, but please watch that article or it was fabulous. They did a really nice job.
Mrs. Button, who took these adorable pictures?
A certain Joey Bunchen.
Yes.
I actually didn't know the answer to that
Yes.
question before
Yes.
I asked it.
Yeah. So I wasn't going to
He did a great job.
Wasn't going to give him credit.
Tell
but
him
yes.
good job.
Yeah. So
You did
he
a
put
great
that together for us. So thank you.
Thanks.
Doc, if I may, before we do the next person on the list, when we approved the agenda, there were two people I'd like to announce, and we didn't get to do it last board meeting because there was a lot going on at the last one. But I would be remiss if we didn't ask Mr. Reese Hightower, who is our new dean, who will be the dean over at Southview. She was in last meeting's agenda. And in this one, Mr. Blake Bodine, who will be our new AP at Mark Dimon. If you two of you could come up and Ms. Peps would read something about, just want to be able to celebrate them.
Come on
Oh, sure,
down.
no problem.
'Cause we can
Whatever
put
you,
them
whatever
in
you
the
want to, yeah, whatever you want to do.
Administrators are hard to get. Want to celebrate.
Now you know why I texted you.
I like
Hi,
celebration.
Mr. Reeves.
First of all, before you go on though,
Yes.
I saw in those pictures, those sweatshirts with "I love calculus." They wore those voluntarily? I don't.
Good evening. I'm Kim Pabst, Director of Human Resources, and I'm very lucky tonight to get to introduce two of our new administrative team members. First, we have Mr. Blake Bodine, and he's going to be an assistant principal at Mark Dimon Elementary School. Prior to Blake coming here, he was at Paxton Buckley Loda for quite a few years teaching social studies, and you were the head teacher of the department, correct? You've had lots of coaching experience from high school, assistant varsity football, and assistant varsity basketball coach. This past year, he's been a dean of students at Danville High School, and we are lucky enough to move him on to elementary at Mark Dimon Elementary School to join Miss Stacy Sollers. There she is. She was very excited and could not believe how impressive he was with his interview. So congratulations and welcome to the administrative team.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. This past year at Danville High School, I've been able to learn a lot and just appreciative of the relationships I've been able to build with staff, families, and our students. And I just look forward to this next year and continuing to help at Mark Denman and make a positive impact in any way I can. So thank you.
And now we have Miss Doris Hightower, and I'm just going with yours because you've been here. She's been with us since 2002, and before that, she was a Danville student forever. So she's been here her entire life. Let's see, Liberty Elementary School, Garfield Elementary School you started with, then went to Liberty, then Southview, teacher here, teacher there, DEA president. Doris has been a little bit of everything, and our number one top recruiter. She brings in almost every Hightower to a position. So Doris is just kind of like a jack of all trades. So I love you dearly, and I welcome you to the dean at Southview, and we can't wait to see how it goes. We're excited for you. Congrats. And yes, she is saying something. She said, I'm not talking. Oh, yes, she can talk. She knows how to talk.
I wasn't prepared for this, but I would just like to say thank you. And I look forward to what I can do to help things calm down a little bit behavior-wise as the Dean of Southfield. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Oh, you're going to leave me hanging. Okay. I'll get started and then you can join me. It's fine. Good evening, Dr. Geddes and School Board. My name is Alyssa Staley and I'm finishing up my second year at Danville High School. And I have come and shared all kinds of things with you the past few years about all the different events and projects that I have done with the students. And this has got to be my favorite thing I have come to talk to you about because it's not just about me and my students. I partnered with some of our other DHS English teachers, and we entered a total of 7 students in the Illinois Association of Teachers of English Poetry and Prose Writing Competition. Of those 7 students, I am proud to say that 4 of them placed in the statewide competition. So they were judged on their original creativity, and they had to revise and find a teacher, because not all teachers have a IAT membership. So they had to find a teacher that had a membership that was willing to submit them. So I will recognize all of the students, even the ones that aren't here. Let me pull up their names so I don't mispronounce anything. But I am very passionate about the Illinois Association of Teachers of English because my mother, who has recently passed, was a past president of this organization. And so it's nice to carry on her work even after she's been gone. So we advertised throughout our school at DHS. We asked Ms. Heil to advertise it in the homeroom news. We posted flyers. We talked among our department, and we just really tried to make sure that we got as many people interested as possible. So of the 7 participants, we had 3 freshmen who participated, and that was Isis Patton, Nadia Gamble, and Dasani Lewis. And Dasani Lewis, who is here tonight, as well as Nadia Gamble, but Dasani received 2nd place in her grade level for poetry. I've already given them hints on what they need to do for next year to place even higher.
It's 2nd place. I mean,
yes, yeah, per grade level.
Okay.
So yeah, they only get to compete against other freshmen in the state in that category. And then we had 4 upperclassmen. We had junior Abigail Hogue, who is with us tonight. And let me just brag about her because she got 1st place and will be a published author before graduating because they are publishing. They are publishing her story in the IAT English Bulletin that will be published digitally and in print later this month. So be on the lookout for that because you know I'm going to put that everywhere I can to make us all proud. And then we also had junior Angelica Brown, who is not with us tonight, but she placed 3rd, and she was a DHS and KDBA student. And she was, yes. and she was entered by first-year teacher Miss Alexa Elliott. And then we had two seniors participate, Ricelyn Sloan in poetry, who is not with us tonight, and then Lakaya Davis in prose. And Lakaya, as a senior, received third place as well. Now, these are some exceptional young ladies because they also represented you guys on WDAN News and did a radio interview already and received their certificates at the Service Awards ceremony earlier this month. So I just wanted to say thank you for letting me come and share all the exciting things. It takes a village, and here's the proof that doing things beyond just staying in the classroom does have an impact and does make a difference. So DHS proud.
Could I just say that every time you come, you bring such good news, such great ideas, and great kids. Thank you so much for what you do.
You are welcome. Thank you for having me.
That it? Okay. I agree. That was very good. Keep that up. But someday she'll surprise us. No, I don't. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, and hats off to you for mentoring them and getting them through the process. I mean, it took everybody to make that happen.
Well, I will say, it wasn't just me. I entered two students, and then Miss Taylor Lester and Miss Alexa Elliott entered students as well. So it takes a group of us, and I'm glad that they saw potential in their students. And Miss Hogue was in Miss Lester's creative writing class, and so that's definitely an elective that sparks that originality that they can enter these writing competitions and place.
Yeah. So awesome. Okay. 5B. Shall we?
Yes. Good evening. I'm Bob Richard, and I have the privilege of being the Executive Director of the Danville Public School Foundation, where our mission is to help provide enhanced educational opportunities for the children attending Danville Public Schools. But tonight, I am here to help present the Dr. David L. Fields Excellence in Teaching Awards. The Dr. David L. Fields Excellence in Teaching Awards were established by the Danville Public School Foundation in 2001 and named in honor of Dr. David Fields, who retired as a Danville superintendent after 40 years with the district as a teacher, administrator, and superintendent of schools. The Excellence in Teaching Awards are bestowed upon the outstanding teacher from primary, intermediate, middle school, and high school levels. Teachers receiving this award represent the finest in teaching, demonstrating a continued dedication to their students and to their profession. They are the best of the best. Along with this formal recognition tonight, the foundation provides a $500 cash award to each recipient, and you can use it for whatever you want. Enjoy it. The district provides $500 worth of classroom support that they can use to help in their classroom. And the Danville Educational Association provides a custom award, which is currently being designed and produced here locally in Danville, and those will be ready in a couple weeks. This is a really fine honor for us to be able to participate in this, to recognize these teachers who do so much for their students. So at this time, we, along with Dr. Ashton representing District 118 and Mr. Alan Rivers representing DEA, will begin presenting the awards. But to introduce each of our recipients, we've asked the school principals to come in and introduce the recipients. So is Mrs. Cherry here tonight? No. Are you, Ms. Britt, are you going to do this? Introduce? I sent her the email. If you didn't get it, it's her fault.
Yeah, you're it.
Ms. Britt, why don't you come up and introduce Mrs. Taylor Heston from Danville High School.
So I will read her nomination form. I can't take credit for it. It was from Mr. Vogel. But it is our pleasure to congratulate now, not just nominate, Ms. Taylor Heston for the David Fields Excellence in Teaching Award. There's no doubt in our mind that our very own DHS Avid English teacher, Taylor Heston, epitomizes the criteria and honor of the David Fields Excellence in Education Award. Ms. Heston is very energetic and enthusiastic as a person and a classroom teacher. Ms. Heston has proven to be a dedicated educator who consistently works on her skills to improve her teaching capacity while connecting with students. Ms. Heston has a great rapport with students, and the level of respect shown on a daily basis demonstrates her ability to connect with students and to draw out the best in them. Ms. Heston teaches our avid students, which include a diverse and varying range of skills. Ms. Heston has established a culture of learning in the classroom that has high expectations with clearly defined goals. Her ability to connect and communicate with students using a student-centered approach fosters a classroom of creativity, expression, and most importantly, leadership. This environment allows students to believe in themselves, which produces results. The results of Ms. Heston's teachings are not only found in her classroom, but other classrooms as well. Ms. Heston has been instrumental in creating and delivering professional development to our Danville High School staff to implement and support avid instruction at the high school level. Ms. Heston's attention to detail and understanding of the concepts we want to ingrain has created a positive classroom environment which has, wow, Scott got real wordy here, has accentuated teaching practices. Her careful approach in explaining avid methodologies has allowed our DHS staff to immediately put in use the strategies that have resulted in more engaging and collaborative opportunities for students. Congratulations.
Lovely plaque. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And now for the good stuff.
Thank you.
I don't have to speak, right?
No, if you want to, you can.
Yes, I don't have to speak, do I? What do you, let's vote. No. Yeah.
Introducing Summer Frazier from Kenneth D. Bailey Academy is Mrs. Campbell.
Good evening, Board of Education. Dr. Geddes. I am Mitzi Campbell, the principal at Kenneth D. Bailey Academy. I am very excited to bring you the Middle School Teacher of the Year, Miss Summer Frazier. Summer's been with us in the district since 2007. She has taught at Mead Park, Southview Upper Elementary School, and we are so excited that she has joined us at Kenneth D. Bailey Academy. She has served as a division leader, a PBIS coach, an ELA coach, and she serves on one of the most amazing middle school teaching teams I've ever had the experience of working with. They are a true powerhouse together and definitely serve the students of KDBA so amazingly well. The best way to describe, I think, Mrs. Frazier's classroom is cognitively vibrant. She calls it chaotic, but she's a middle school teacher, so you have to understand cognitively vibrant seems to be a good fitting analogy for her. Yeah, absolutely. Student choice is a priority. Her students are highly engaged. There is so much movement and reading and writing and collaboration. The students really respect one another in her room, and they absolutely respect Ms. Frazier. I asked some of our students today to help me out with this evening. I said, how would you describe Ms. Frazier? What do we love about Ms. Frazier? And I had some very heartfelt ones as well, some very middle school responses. So just to share with you, I can't count how many students said that she loves us. She definitely loves her students, current and past. They always come to visit her, former students. She truly cares about them. They say that Mrs. Frazier gives them advice, that she makes the classroom so much fun and enjoyable. They said no matter how much we try to get on her nerves, she's so patient with us. And she is absolutely patient. She's incredibly humble. She has no clue how amazing of a teacher she is, and we are so fortunate that we get her in this district as well as at Kenneth D. Bailey Academy. So I just want to congratulate Mrs. Summer Frazier.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Congratulations.
So much. Sorry, thank you.
And introducing Ashley Villagen, thank you. From Southview Upper Elementary is Mrs. Fluno.
Dr. Geddes, board, I wish I could say I had even half of Mrs. Campbell's energy, but I don't. Just let me clue you into that right now. So this is Miss Villagen, and this is my first year as principal at Southview. So I did not know Miss Villagen before this year. But Mr. Hart did. I just love Miss Villagen. She has taught fifth grade the majority of her career here in District 118, which is where her career has been start to finish. She started out to be an SLP, and it was going to take too long for her to get into grad school, so she decided to do elementary education, and that was a really good choice because she's a really great teacher. She really and truly is. She participates in all of our book studies, and right now she's taking letters training, which is really the basics of reading, and she's a math teacher. So if you do math these days, you have to be able to read, because if you cannot read, you cannot do math. So she's on my leadership team, and she's wonderful. If she thinks I need to know something, she's the first person to come knock on my door and say, hey, let me talk to you for a second, and gives me advice and helps me find my way. She's wonderful. She helps with the fifth grade math. She makes sure they're all on the same page with the lessons. She's been wonderful with Karen from Eureka. She makes sure that everyone's on the same page. With science, she helped Mary Ellen find trade books, because, fifth grade is the first grade that you actually have science class, and they have no idea, none at all. So she really has helped them find their way with that as well. She has really high expectations for her kids. If you're in her class, you're going to mind your P's and Q's. You're going to know what the expectations are, and you're going to follow them. If you're not going to do that, you're going to have some problems with Miss Villagen, and you're going to get a call from Miss Villagen to your home, and then it won't happen again.
Wow.
And if it does, she will call your mom again. And if the call doesn't work, she'll use Class Dojo. And if that doesn't work, she'll ask your mom to come to school. It's just how it works. It is. Her students, but you know what? While she might be strict and expect a lot from her kids, the kids from the previous year are always trying to sneak down the hallway and get right back to her class so they can say hi to her and give her a hug. Even though they're not supposed to be in that part of the building, they still do. They still do try to sneak down, and as strict as she is, she always lets them. So congratulations, Ashley. You deserve this so much.
No speech? Yeah. I know.
To introduce Lori Grant from Mark Denman Elementary is Mrs. Sollers.
Mr. DeMoyer from Meat Park. No, come too.
I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Bring it on.
But it says right there.
She
Well,
splits
we
time.
share her. We share her.
All right.
We're fortunate to share her, even though we wish we had two of Lori.
Nobody wants to.
Good evening, board. Dr. Geddes. Tonight we are here to congratulate Miss Lori Grant. She teaches our English language learners in the district. She's kind of been all over Garfield, Mark Denman, Mead Park, Southview. Mark Denman and Mead Park have been really her home. And it's just, if you don't know much about Lori, she really, when she digs into something, that she is all about it. She's crazy about Avid. She puts on a career in college. Yeah, you know. Her relationships with so many business owners, just so many people in the community, and it's building a foundation for our future, for our students. This was the first year Mead Park got to come over to Mark Denman's career day.
Going towards the end of the year, I'm going back and forth with Lori. I'm like, Lori, my anxiety's getting a little high. Like, we're going toward the end of the year, and she's like, it's okay. We get there, and it was fabulous. Our kids loved it. I think the presenters might have had a little, more fun than our kids, but she serves as an avid site coordinator, and she does a wonderful job. Lori builds relationships with not only our students but our families, because a lot of our English language learners, there's multiple. There's siblings, and she has had so many siblings, and we got Garfield at Mead Park this year, and they were a little hesitant. Some of them, were outspoken and said, I don't know if I want to go to Mead Park, and Lori's really made that transition wonderful for them, and she does a fabulous job, and I know Stacy and I are very fortunate to have her, and we probably both wish we had her in our building a little more, but we're happy to share her, and she's well deserving. So.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Our career day was fabulous. Thank you, Ms. Twiley, for coming, and Mrs. Button for coming. It was awesome this year.
Okay, our final recipient could not be here tonight, but that doesn't mean she's not a fantastic teacher. And to sing her praises for Mrs. Brittany Scott is Mr. Thorlton from Northeast.
Good evening, board. Good evening, Dr. Geddes. I'm Justin Thorlton, the principal at Northeast Elementary Magnet School. I want to talk a little bit about Brittany Scott, our first grade teacher. Well deserving of this award. I know over 5 years ago when I went to Garfield Elementary as a principal, I heard Brittany Scott was there. She was wonderful. You got to see this teacher in action. And right when I got there, I heard that Northeast had acquired Mrs. Brittany Scott. So I was a little heartbroken, but then that didn't stop me from going to Northeast the next year and, borrowing a few teachers from other schools that I heard wonderful things about. So I know the feeling. But, you got to see Mrs. Scott in action. She's just kind of calm, determined attitude. Any child in their classroom that just needs a little extra, she's there for them. Obviously, it goes without saying, all of the good teaching stuff is there. Great avid teacher, differentiated her instruction, does the small groups, just anything you would expect her to do, she does, and she does it well. She goes above and beyond. She's not really one to get into other people's business, but you can kind of go to her, talk to her. She always has something very helpful to say. She's very just a good team player overall. So, it was my pleasure to nominate her for this award, and I am very glad that she was able to accept it. Sorry she's not here tonight. She had a previous engagement, but she is very humbled to receive it. She actually gave us a little speech yesterday in the hallway, so we got to congratulate her yesterday. So thank you, and congratulations, Mrs. Scott.
You got that check. Again, thank you so much. We are, the district's very blessed to have a lot of great teachers, and it was our honor to be able to recognize these 5 this year. Thank you so much.
Can I just say, when we went to deliver the news, their reaction was priceless, because we showed up. So first I walked in, and Hart walks in, then Jacoby walks in, and the principal, and they're smiling initially. And it was hilarious, but you took the prize, because we were all in the hallway, and she was annoyed with, she looked like, I'm annoyed. What are you doing here? I don't like this attention. Just stop it. It was so cute. And then she sent the email. I'm sorry for my reaction. I just really don't like it. Y'all were priceless. It was really the highlight of the day. Just really the highlight of the day. Love it.
Thank you to the foundation, and thank you to the DEA, and for putting everything together and delivering the awards tonight. It was thank you. We certainly do appreciate that.
Okay. Have a good evening. Congratulations again. We are going to sing some praise of some other staff members here in District 118. These are our Golden Ruler winners for this school year. Some of them are here tonight. These individuals were recognized at Bismarck, I think it was April 25th. They had a dinner and reception. It was very nice for each of them. If you're here tonight, you can come up, stand up at your spot so we can clap for you and cheer you on. So we'll start with you. No, you just stand right up, Alyssa.
Alyssa Wright.
Stand on up. Alyssa Wright's another one of those go-getters. She is involved in, no, you just keep standing. She's involved in a little bit of everything and just makes everything better. So I personally have gotten to work with her for years. So Alyssa Wright, we have from Mark Dimon Elementary School. We have Jeannie Wise. She's a teacher at Southwest. We have Christy Waggle, an LRC at Northeast. We have Stephanie Scruggs coming up from Southview Upper Elementary. Stephen Reilepold from the high school. Again, Alyssa Wright from Mark Denman. We have Miss Wilson, Christine Wilson from Edison Elementary School. Sarah Funk, she's another go-getter from Northridge Middle School. Courtney Watson, I think he's out. There's Courtney. Stand up, Courtney. Courtney is another jack of all trades. He really is. Courtney is looking forward to running summer school really soon. He's another jack of all trades that KDBA just cannot live without. Am I right, Miss Campbell? Yeah, look at them all. So congratulations to you as well. We have Rob Mignot from Liberty Elementary School and Gina Meredith. Miss Kelly Truix is back here. We know that we cannot function without Gina Meredith from the Jackson Building. Liz Benjamin, a longtime teacher at Mead Park Elementary School, and Taylor Vollmer, she is with Danville High School, one of our behavior interventionists. So again, these individuals were our Golden Ruler winners for this school year, and we truly could not run our buildings without them. Thank you all for your dedication and congratulations.
That's all we have.
I know, I'm just watching people. That's okay. I'm giving
Thank you,
them the
guys.
opportunity. Thank you, guys. Congratulations to all thank you to the winners. That's always great news, great people, great staff, this is fun part, so we certainly appreciate it. But now let's get on to some business. And that would be 6, curriculum, the Eureka Math contract renewal. Suppose you want us to keep Eureka Math.
Yes, please. Yes, good evening, board. I'm Mary Ellen Button, Director of Curriculum, and Dr. Geddes, good evening. They will give us, okay, let me start over. Eureka, our current math series that we've had, you adopted it a year ago, we've had it for a year, and they will give us, Great Minds, a significant discount if we do a 4-year contract. The lovely part of it is that we can buy it and then to store it at the warehouse to get it all at once would be, we wouldn't have room. But they will send it because it's a subscription 1 year at a time. So, and we get a significant discount, and you can see the discount. It's fun for me because it's 33.85% and 55.24%, which I get a kick out of because they're math people and that's the discount that we get. And they'll give us a nice discount if we do a 4-year contract. And so we want to take advantage of that discount. And so for the low price of $444,000 and $252.48. I think I said that wrong. I'm tired. I'm really sorry. It's the end of the year. But that's how much it would be for the 4-year contract for our students in kindergarten through 6th grade to continue with our math series.
Okay, I have a recommendation. Do we have a motion to accept this recommendation?
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? So they like Eureka. It's successful. They like manipulating it and using it. And it, correct? Has it been?
We've had it for a year, so we
so we should
piloted
know.
it. We've had it for a year. The teachers, we haven't, it's hard to say if something's successful after a year. We believe it's going to be. The teachers are really happy with the trainer that's come in, Karen and Angela, and Mrs. Edrington. They've gone around, I think they feel better. Do we have, none of the teachers? They feel much better about it now than they did at the beginning of the school year. And we're seeing in, iReady and FastBridge, we're starting to see some growth in math. But I think in probably another 2 years, we'll see some significant changes. And we're gonna have Karen come back one more year, and I think that'll make a huge difference.
Okay.
So does the 4 years include the year we've had it, or it's 4 years?
It's 4 years going forward.
So 4,400, or
444.
444,000 for all of our elementary students for 4 years.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Great.
With
Okay.
the funny discounts. I don't know why we just don't round up, but I think it's probably a finance, it's not it's the finance department, not the, I just want to round it up.
Okay. Okay. You have before you the motion for approval of Eureka Math for the 4 years for $444,252.48. No further questions. Roll call vote, please.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Mrs. Holland,
Yes.
Ms. Payne,
Yes.
Mrs. Corley,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
Dr. Ashley.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Almost as successful as Skip. But we'll see. I didn't even know you were next.
No, you didn't?
No, I just,
I'm not
that's
sure.
what's off the top of my head.
I love it because Lakeisha's got Mary Ellen and I up front early,
Yeah, yeah, usually it's the other way around.
all the way to the end.
Yeah, well, don't worry, it'll be a short meeting, and you'll regret it. Number 7, buildings and grounds. Whatever.
I'm not sure how to answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
that.
Yeah, whatever that.
Not
means.
really sure.
Just
Good
editorial.
evening, Dr. Geddes Board. I'm here this evening to ask the board to accept the bid for $131,650 for the new parking lot, which would be west of the new parking lot last year on the main parking lot for Danville High School. Now, I just wanted to make sure that Mrs. Holleran, that you know
I saw
that
it
they are
right
from
away.
Danville.
And I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, the motion and a second.
Oh, goody.
Were you going to say any more?
Nope.
Okay. I have motion and a second for $131,650 for Midwest Asphalt.
Mhm.
And it's the west parking lot. Is it like that in between thing that on the way out to the which one?
Going towards Hazel
Yeah.
and the new facility. So we're paving it all the way out to Hazel Street, sorry.
I won't. My shoes won't be full of white dust
No.
during the winter.
I know.
I'm gonna miss that all these years.
Can we clarify, I didn't let you finish, that this bid is from a Danville company?
Yes,
Right.
yes. Midwest Asphalt is a Danville company.
That's why you jumped on it.
That's why I did.
Okay, any further questions or comments? Seeing none, for $131,650 to Midwest Asphalt Company from Danville. Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Payne,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader,
Yes.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Holland,
Yes.
Mrs. Corley,
Yes.
Dr. Ashley.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Neck and neck with curriculum.
The energy.
Yeah. Good evening, Board and Dr. Geddes. I'm here tonight seeking your approval for a memorandum of agreement between the International Union of Operating Engineers Local 399, which is our custodial and maintenance union, and the district to extend the rollover cutoff date for vacation under the collective bargaining agreement that happens on June 30th. So our staff are feeling pressured to fit their vacation days in before June 30th. And since we've been short-staffed, we have a staffing challenge, that hasn't been possible because we can't have everyone off at once. So I would like to extend that to August 8th, which is the day before staff returns for the new school year.
Move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for proposed MOA for extended vacation. Questions or comments?
Isn't this the time of the year that we need those employees the most?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Mrs. Corley?
Yes.
Mrs. Holland?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Say my name.
I did say your name.
Okay, I did. Okay. Wow. Welcome to my life. And brings us to 7C.
I'm also seeking your approval for another memorandum of agreement between the same union and the district. And this is to allow the district, a couple of board meetings ago, you approved third-party cleaning services for the Jackson Building and the Fields Building. The union wanted some assurances that we weren't replacing staff by doing that, and this is truly to address the staff shortage. So this is just a memorandum of agreement outlining our agreement.
What say you, board?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, before you have a proposed MOA for cleaning services, clarify cleaning services.
Yes.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Holland?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Mrs. Corley?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 8, human resources. Oh. Okay. Item 8, number dismissal of educational support personnel employee for reasons other than reduction in force. I would consider a motion to approve the resolution for dismissal of educational support personnel employee Saran Clark for reasons other than reduction in force.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Mrs. Corley?
Yes.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Mrs. Holland?
Yes.
Elder Park?
Yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yes, motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much, board. Brings us to 8B, job descriptions. What do you have for us?
Quite a few.
I see that.
All right, once again, I'm Kim Papps, Director of Human Resources. Good evening again. Let's start, we'll go one by one this meeting, I assume. You don't want them all, do you want them all at once, or do you want them one by one?
How would the board entertain all these as a package to approve them? I would.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think we need to vote separately.
Perfect.
So
So
yeah.
this is this is for.
without, if anyone takes it off, we'd take it off. But if no one dissents, we'll just take it all as one item. Okay.
Just descriptions of the positions.
Correct.
Correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
We're not approving names, personnel, we're just approving the position itself.
Job descriptions.
Job description.
Yeah,
of the
there's not there is no one
Correct.
attached to this
Okay.
to fill
Just-
them.
Yes.
There's no
I
money.
mean, one of them's mine. I really hope you're not removing my name. No, these are the, yes.
Well, we could pull it out, no. Go on.
Yes, these are job descriptions. So tonight I'd like to recommend the following job descriptions. I'll just read them by name. It's Director of Operations, Assistant Director of Building and Grounds, Director of Early Learning, Student Support Facilitator, Assistant Director of Building and Grounds, Head Cook, Senior Supervisor for Food Service, Curriculum Facilitator, Assistant Director of Human Resources, and Director of Human Resources. And those are the job descriptions in the package deal.
I move to approve.
Second.
I I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments about these job descriptions?
As I understand it, most of these are positions that we have created in order to be able to retain people that are, many people that are in our district
Already.
already.
Correct. Jeremy, correct.
And these positions don't necessarily qualify as administrative positions? Some do.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Of the ones listed, how many are actually administrative positions?
Okay, 1, 2. Quite a few I have here in my pack. Let me just go through them all for you. HR 2, 3, and then there's 3 for, I'm sorry, 2 for building and grounds, and then 3 for director and assistant director, so 5.
Thanks.
Yes. They're not, no, they are not all new positions, correct.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none? Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Gordon,
Abstain.
Mrs. Elder Park,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Payne,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader,
Yes.
Ms. Halloran,
Yes.
Dr. Ashton.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Thank you, board.
6, was it one out, one
Abstain.
dissent? I didn't hear, I'm sorry. Did you abstain or did they know?
Ms. Corley is,
And it was no or yes?
she abstained.
Abstain?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear it, that's, I'm sorry. It's just for me, she heard, obviously. That's 6 with 1 abstention. Thank you very much. Okey doke, number 9, special education. Robokind contract renewal.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Geddes. I'm Molly Bailey, the Director of Special Education. In 2017, we wrote for a grant to partially fund Milo, the autism robot, for the special education students in District 118. That was a while ago, and technology has changed a bit. And so we would like to update our technology with 3 new robots. And each year you do have to buy the curriculum that accompanies those robots as well. And then the company since 2017 has now developed new curriculum, which is phonics curriculum. And so we'd like to pilot that in just one building to see if we like that before we buy it. So the total for all of that is $73,900, and it will be paid with IDEA ARP funds, which is our ESSER funds, that must be utilized by September.
I move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and second for the Robokind renewal contract for $73,900. Any questions or comments? See none. Roll call vote, please.
Elder Park,
Yes.
Mrs. Halloran,
Yes.
Ms. Payne,
Yes.
Mrs. Gordon,
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader,
Yes.
Pastor Miller,
Yes.
and Dr. Ashton.
Yes, motion passes 7-0.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Item number 10. Gateway.
Yeah, you can go ahead and pass those out. Good evening, Board of Education and Dr. Geddes. I'm Kelly Truex, Director of Educational Support Programs. And I am here to propose that we have a new service agreement with Gateway Services. Gateway Family Services has been providing tiered mental health services to Mark Denman and Northridge Middle School for the 22-23 school year. The charges for that agreement you have on your memo, and they would like to add this year Southview Upper Elementary along with Mark Denman and Northridge to their services. I have Michael Remley here, and he is the owner of Gateway Family Services. He has a little presentation for us with some data, and I have Mrs. Solers from Mark Denman, who just cannot say enough good things about Gateway Family Services. So I'm gonna let them speak, and then we can go with questions after that.
Good evening, Board and Dr. Geddes. My name is Michael Rimley, CEO of Gateway Family Services, and I want to start off by saying thank you. This last year, you guys gave me an opportunity to come into District 118, and I thought I was coming in to help District 118, and I found that I myself was changed more through this process, and so thank you for that. I've come to love District 118 and the students and staff, and I have to tell you that we're in 11 school districts in the area, and you have amazing staff. You have amazing, loving, caring staff who go above and beyond for your students, and so thank you for letting me be a part of that this year. This past year, we were able to serve students at Northridge. We were able to provide an average of 23 services to 23 students per week. The average participant, as they kind of came and went through the program, they received about 11 hours of therapeutic services. At Mark Denman, we had an average of 17 students a week, and during that time, they received nearly 19 hours of therapeutic services. We had 22 and a half hours of consultation provided to staff and regarding tricky behaviors in the classroom and figuring out how we can navigate and help a kiddo be successful in the classroom. We provided services through consultation and teaching the staff, and we developed and implemented regulation space for staff. At Mark Denman, we had us, as we think about just the stress of being in the classroom and taking care of students, we created a space for the staff to go and to kind of recharge and reset so they can go back into the classroom regulated and provide that co-regulation that students need. We also provided a de-escalation space for the students, and you'll see a picture here in just a little bit, but it is a space that kids can come in. It provides regulation, visual regulation. It also provides proprioception, so that deep pressure that kids need. Sometimes you just need that deep squeeze to help our bodies calm down. And it's a space away from other individuals so that they're able to bring themselves into a more regulated state, so then they're able to go back into the classroom and be able to learn. That is utilized throughout the week, whether we're there or not. And then my favorite part was getting to bring the horses into the building and to provide those therapeutic services. Last time we were here, we talked about why horses are so important. Horses, they extend vibrations out of from their heartbeat, and it provides regulation. We develop to rhythm, and rhythm is regulating for us. And so just being in the presence of the horse, these kids are able to de-escalate, to calm back down, then move to a place in their brain where they're able to engage emotionally. And then we think about strategies of how we can get them back in the classroom, address what's going on. And we've seen great success in that. And I'm sorry, I'm going to try and see if I can go through. Sorry, I've got too many things on here. Okay, yeah, so for Northridge, we saw an overall reduction in the referrals for those who participated in the program. We saw a reduction in the referrals for aggressive behavior, for violence, and we also saw a reduction in referrals for insubordination for participants across the board. And I believe that was provided for you. You can see the graph there. Regarding Mark Denman, we had, of the participants, there was a decline in behavior from there was a 54% improvement for the students that participated. Of that group that participated, there was a 23%, that showed no change in their behavior. And the students, overall, we saw an improvement with kids in their relationships with peers. And we also had a grief support group that we met with students to help them process through. And that's a tricky thing to measure, but we saw kids make a lot of progress in that. I want to show you guys something here. So this was one of the spaces that we started out in. This was the room that was at Mark Denman. And this is a regulation space. That's the same space. And to tie in the Mark Denman Rockets. So the outer space theme. And so kids can come in, they can control the lights, and they also, you can see there on the right-hand side is the Lycra swing. And so kids come in there, they get in that swing, it provides deep proprioception and helps their body regulate. And Ms. Allers can speak to that as well. But it's pretty amazing to see how the kids can just regulate and then return to a place where they're able to learn in the classroom. These are a couple of the pictures taking our minis into the horses. relationships are tricky for some of our kids. And having a horse, they're a relational being, and these kids look forward to connecting with their horse week to week. Today I asked a student, I said, we model for them what's going on, and he asked how my day was. And I said I was a little bit nervous because I was coming to speak to you guys tonight. And he said, well, why wouldn't they have you come back? Which I laughed. But then he said, well, you got to tell them that they've got to bring my horses back next year. And so we have had an amazing year, but we wrapped it up yesterday with one of the most amazing times, excuse me, of seeing kids come out on the farm. And the kids came out that had participated in the program, and they got to connect with our full-size horses. They're a little tricky to get into Mark Denman with those big horses. Yes. But these kids were able to ride, and they participated in a rhythmic riding group. And so what we did is, when we think about these students can come out and we can, if we remove the stress in it in a traditional talk therapy setting, we remove that, they can talk to us and tell us what they're going to do differently. But if they go back into a stressful environment, they've never had an opportunity to practice putting those skills into place without any stress. So during this, we activate their stress response and then work on practicing those self-regulation skills. And to see those kids come in super anxious, super nervous, hadn't ridden horses before, hadn't been to the farm, and to see them end in a place of calm and regulation, and it was incredible. And I don't know, do you want to speak to that?
Yesterday?
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure I can speak to it and not be emotional, but yesterday was probably my favorite day of ever being an educator in my life. We have these 4 kiddos that I've seen struggle all year. And yesterday they were the happiest kids. They didn't have the baggage and the weight that they have. And I would like to say that it was like magical, but magical would mean that it's like something that only happens every once in a while. But every time that these kiddos get to work with Michael and Gateway and the horses, it is life-changing. And it has been for me as well. And so yesterday it was amazing. I don't want to give too much story about these kiddos, but they struggle. And yesterday they were very proud of the things that they accomplished. They were very calm, and they were doing the things that they had learned in their therapies and in their counseling sessions at school, and they were relating to the horses, and they had never seen big horses, but they just did so amazing, and it was the best day ever. I'm gonna stop there. I'll be back.
Yes. So we had just some more pictures. The thing that is so critical, and you're wondering why horses, our brainstem, what speaks to that, and that this brainstem is a survival part, and so that's what kicks into gear when our stress is activated, and what helps regulate that, what helps get us back on track is predictable pattern, repetitive sensory input. And then the next part of the brain is the diencephalon, is where am I at in space and how is space impacting me? And what helps that part regulate is predictable pattern, repetitive movement. So when you think about the horse, their movement, and they're providing that sensory input, and they're providing that movement that we need that helps us to engage our brain in the way that our brain naturally develops. And so then as I'm organizing that part of my brain, then I'm able to develop healthy pathways around relational connection. And then I'm able to access the high level thinking part of my brain so I can problem solve and figure out how do I address what's going on, and how do I avoid situations like I've had in the past. And so it's just a powerful thing. We say it feels like magic because you watch it and you just can't, it's amazing. You're changed watching it. And I've done this for years. And yesterday was one of those of watching those kids transform during their time with us. So we're proposing that we come back and join you for this year. And so,
Let me start with the proposal. So, what Gateway would like to do is, we would like to recommend that They provide services to Northridge in the amount of $40,875. Southview, $59,375, and Mark Demon, $172,375. And Michael's going to show you some of the services that they will be providing in the second part of his PowerPoint. We have spoken with Mrs. Bailey, our special education director. We are putting some systems in place with our tiers in social emotional learning, and Gateway, it has been accepted as one of the tiers if we do accept their proposal, right, Mrs. Bailey's, because of the progress that we have seen. So Michael's gonna just show you what they can offer at that, and they would like to start June 1st of 2023, because he does work summer school, and go through August, or June 30th of 2024. He is aware that this is ESSER 3 money, and I have spoken to all of our community agencies, and ESSER 3 money is completed in September of 2024. So Michael is committed to working with us, to continue working with us, and is looking for grants now. And matter of fact, we were going to do one, and then the deadline kind of came up, so we do have some things in mind for future endeavors.
So for Tier 1 strategies, one of the things that we're really focused on is how do we help the staff. And so we want to do staff lunch and learns. We know their schedule is already really packed, but we want to be able to connect with them quarterly, brainstorm with them, provide strategies for addressing some of those tricky behaviors, but also how do we help support them in their own mental health and the emotions that come with, and the exhaustion that comes with teaching. And so we would offer those at all 3 schools. And then parent involvement is really important, making sure that parents are connected and that they are a part of this transformation process. And so we want to offer parent luncheons, and we would provide free lunch to the parents to kind of entice them to come in, and then just figure out how do we connect with them so that's as a full systemic approach. Staff self-care retreats. And then we'd also create a second regulation station for students at Mark Denman. And then we want to utilize one of the courtyards as a calming garden. So there's a lot of research out there around nature and how it's regulating for us, and be able to utilize one of those spaces for regulation. For Tier 2, bringing in animal-assisted therapy for groups, so 2 to 3 kids at a time, and just work on those peer relationships. We do a lot of things where there's parallel play, because sometimes direct face-to-face is really intense for our kiddos, so being able to do a lot of that parallel play helps as well. And then clinical consultation for those tricky behaviors. And then our Tier 3 strategies, we'll be doing one-on-one sessions on site, so continuing the work that we've been doing. And then this year we're adding the rhythmic writing group, what we did on Tuesday out on the farm. So that would be an 8-week program. Kids would come, 4 to 5 kids would come at a time, work through self-regulation strategies. We have kind of a curriculum that we utilize as far as self-regulation and co-regulation strategies while they're riding the horse. And so we would be able to provide that to about 20 to 25 students per year. So I think that...
Okay. So his service agreement would be up to 100 students at Northridge, and possibly up to 100 at Southview.
Correct.
And Mark Demon?
I would say at least 100.
At least 100. So that's what we are expecting in the service agreement. I will let you know that all of our community agencies are required to turn in documentation to me. There's a whole list. I have Ms. Pascal with me today. She organized all of those things, and Michael is fabulous at turning in all of his data. We have his data, we have his bank statements, we have his background checks, attendance records. It's kind of tricky because he is a mental health provider, so we don't have names, and that's fine. But he has provided everything that I would need if I would get audited, which I will get audited through ESSER. So I just did want to let you know that. And then Stacy would like to share a few things with Solers just about her experience and data at Mark Denman.
We shared a little bit of our data already. I just wanted to kind of bring us back a little bit. When I came up in September, several of you were here, and September, we started school in August, and in September, I came up here and leaned across this podium and said, I'm tired.
And I felt as though my toolbox was empty with some of the behaviors and trauma and grief that we were experiencing at Mark Dimon Elementary. And I felt like I wasn't doing the best I could for the kids or the staff, and we were all tired. And so a couple days after that, Dr. Geddes reached out to me and she said, you know what, reach out to Gateway. And I thought at that point, I was like, oh, I'm already so tired and it's one more thing I'm going to have to manage. And little did I know that it was the absolute best thing for our school, for me, for our students, for our parents. I'm not trying to paint this like amazing picture that every parent and every student is receiving all of this, but we have made a huge impact by working with Gateway this year. Elder Parks came out the first day that the minis came, and we literally was chasing a child out of the building, and the child ran into a horse, ran into a horse. And Michael was like, hey, you need to walk this horse. And it just instantly changed. And also gave the staff member a horse and said, you need to walk the horse as well. And everything just kind of calmed. And that is what we experience with having this resource in our building. I can tell you today, one of those kiddos that was in the picture today was having a really, really hard day. And they came to my office, and she is one that we've not seen a significant change in her behavior. Statistically wise, data wise, she is one of the kiddos that really has just kind of stayed the same. However, today I realized what she was doing would have required her to be sent home. And probably I would not have seen her again for the rest of the school year for the next 3 days. But instead, she came in my office and we got on the floor together, and I put a weighted blanket around her, and we did the deep pressure, and she just melted into my lap, and she was able to return to class today. And she was able to say, I just need you to squeeze me. Where before it was, I just need you to take me home. So although the data shows that she's still having episodes, that the requests that our kids are making are different, and they are responding to themselves and becoming more self-aware. And we are responding differently, because before I'd have been like, call her mom, let's go, we got to get out. And today it was, what do you need? And I spent a good portion of my day on the floor with her today, but that's okay, because we were able to return back to class today, and she'll be there tomorrow. And so those are the things, the tools that we have been able to gain. Sometimes I laugh because kids come in my office and I'm like, okay, what do you need? Do you need a fidget? Do you need the lights off? Do you need the fountain going? Do you need to go to the swing? Do we need to turn the space lights on? Like, what do we need? Like, those are all the tools that we did not have at the beginning of the year. And our kids that have been working this program, they know to ask for those things. We don't have a horse every day. The horse fixes everything. We don't have a horse every day, and we don't have Michael and his staff every day, but we now have tools in our toolbox. And there are days that, Michael will come in and he'll look at me and poke in and he'll be like, you good? You're not good. In fact, he basically made me come to the farm. And I was terrified of horses the first day that I went out to the farm with our team. I rode a horse. I guess that's what I did. I cried on a horse because I was shaking, and I kept watching my heart rate because I'm terrified of horses from previous experiences. And then the next time when he said, no, you're coming because you need to have some time on the horse, he walked me in a circle around the arena for an hour and a half. And it was cold. It was cold because that's what I needed. And so I have benefited from this. And being that tired in September, had this not come into our building, I'm not sure that I would be standing as the principal of Mark Denman Elementary in May, because it was hard. It was hard and I was tired. I'm still tired, but I have lots of tools now. I could go on and on. I have this whole folder. If you want to come visit me, please come visit me. We do amazing things, and Gateway is a huge, huge part of that.
So after that, it is our recommendation that we approve, or that, I'm sorry, that you approve the service agreement for the 23-24 school year, June 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. All three buildings will be in the same service agreement for a total amount of $272,625.
Why is there such a difference in the cost at Mark Denman versus the other?
Well, I told Michael that would probably come up, so he's going to tell you the difference with Mark Denman.
Thank you.
So a few of those are the regulation spaces, the calming garden, and then we really feel that if we pour into the kids when they're younger and create a more positive atmosphere, then as they're getting older, we won't be needed as much in the upper elementary and junior highs. So we are investing a lot more while they're younger.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so let's do this correctly. Let's have a motion and a
moved.
second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for approval for, what's that number, 372?
$272,625,000 with ESSER 3 funds.
272,
25.
625. Okay,
So to the principal,
Yes.
this program, 1 to 10.
I'm sorry?
1 to 10.
Oh, 10.
Okay.
One thing that I did not mention, because I talked too much and I forgot, we also have parents now that are coming in and doing therapies with Michael and their child. And they come in throughout the week and throughout the day, and they also participate in that. So that's kind of where we're really excited about the possibility of the lunch and learns. I would like to do in our building lunch and learns twice a month, one being the social emotional aspect with Michael and his staff, and the other being kind of like our parent universities that we used to do, but have the parents come in and just kind of check in with us, and so everything's connected, because Lori Grant is our person for family engagement, and she's part of that too. And so I just wanted to let you know that we do have parents that they're becoming very involved in this as well and requesting it.
Can I ask a question? Will we get the horses at Southview?
Yes.
Okay. Very excited.
I actually got to hold the horse at Northridge for the high
I
five.
even visited it at Northridge when I was
Yeah.
there and brought the little horse. I'm very excited about this little horse at Southview.
any other questions or comments?
I have something. One of the things that that I found to be really impactful for the students in our district, but also the staff and the parents, is this matter of the trauma that we face in the last few years as a community. I mean, none of us are the same, and especially the youngest kids. Some of them have come into our buildings and they haven't even, some of them came in as second graders and had never sat in a classroom. And the lack of self-regulation was really evident across our elementary buildings, and it was nobody's fault. But we have kids with no tools in their toolbox, and we have exhausted teachers, and we have this desire from our administration and our board to help. And so here comes Michael Remley and his horses, and the fact that and you explained the science of it, Michael, how it tends to that piece of the parts of your brain that literally make it okay, and you're capable of thinking and doing higher level decision making and problem solving. And I had a chance to be there yesterday. It was like standing on sacred ground. It really was, just to behold it. And when those little kids, they first saw the horse and they were like, oh, And Michael did this thing with them, like, do a horse breath. And I can't make my lips do that, but do it. Yeah. So he had them all breathe in and then breathe out. And they did it a couple times. And the last time, was it Willow? Was that the horse? Willow goes with him. And he was like, and he gives them the words for the feelings that they're having. So then they can duplicate it. And I watched your counselors out there asking, how do you feel? How do you think your horse feels? And so the language, and they were able to, I watched these kids in 45 minutes that I was able to be there transform, a massive transformation. And I've never seen anything like it. I told you, Mrs. Sollers, I'm a different person today than I was before I came here. I think it's an absolute blessing that you have been part of our district, and I cannot more highly recommend you for this. And I hope that this is the beginning of things to come.
And I would just like to add to that, because again, I was there when they first came out to Mark Didman, and they were having an issue with two young men. And I mean, me personally, I'm a parent. My kids are grown, but as I was looking back on these two young men, and I said, you know what? I am so glad that I'm not in a classroom, because these young men were giving them the blues. But when Mike brought those ponies out, and these two young men, I mean, there was a change in them. And I said, look at this. And then they took them in the building. And oh my goodness gracious, those children had a time with them ponies. So I applaud you for what you have done there. And I do look forward to going back out there. And I get a chance to go out to your farm, and I might want to try to ride one of them horses and put on my cowboy hat.
We will
So-
have Willow, the big horse, at school tomorrow at 10.
Oh, wow. 10 tomorrow?
Cowboy hat.
Okay.
She's not going inside.
No, she's not yet. I just want to add one thing. One of the little girls that was there yesterday kept getting distracted and chasing this little barn cat or farm cat around. And she was just, and the counselor was just like, oh, look at you, you're distracted, and just would bring her. But then they later found out she'd never petted a cat before, ever. You know, we think we know about kids' lives and backgrounds. We think we know. And you know, we just don't. We don't until we are able to to build the connections to ask. And just thank you for giving those tools. That was, anyway. Wow.
Come over to the Ashton house, we got a pet them all day and all night, scratch them under the chin.
Well, I couldn't let it go without saying something. And so I have been fortunate enough to be involved with the farm for 9 years, since almost the day I arrived here. And your family has been amazing to us. Actually, the first fundraiser, some kids need boots, and we got together and got some boots for the kids who were coming out to the farm. But we all know that I am the poster child for ADHD, right? And so Mr. Rimley, for 1 year, every week he would plant that seed about what the partnership could look like at District 118. And he was consistent and calm, and I'm squirrel, I'm not paying attention. But he kept planting that seed. And then the one day when I came to you and I saw you in such distress after that board meeting, I came the next day to visit you, and it clicked. They needed to be together. Relationships, them synergistic relationships kind of my thing. And I knew that you were the solution to her problem, and you jumped right in. You could have gotten frustrated with me because a year of telling me the same thing, but you didn't. You hung in there with me, and then I just knew you needed to be together, and it just bloomed. I really see that this needs. In fact, I think a board retreat to the horse would be good. It really would be great. Really would be great.
I volunteer for that.
And then just what you do for outside of my children, my personal children, my district children, what you do for my staff. You are there at all times, and what you have done for me. Because one day I know I called you, and I was like, I'm on my way, get a horse out. And so I'm like you, Stacy. I'm afraid of horses. I still haven't made it to the horse, but we made it to the fence. And they
Really?
yeah.
It's been a year?
No, it's been 9 years.
9 years.
And I've not, no, but I made it to the fence.
Come on, Michael.
And somehow they recognize that I have an issue because, my sister fell when I was little. So they they manage me, but they still are able to, listen over here. It's amazing how they can regulate you. And so he is patient and he'll do whatever I need. Okay, we're just gonna walk around. So we just walk around the fence because that's as close as I've gotten right now. But you've never told me no. You always there for us, and I'm grateful for what you do for my entire family. Thank you.
How many of you all have ridden horses? Oh, wow.
I'm scared.
Phew, that's pretty good.
I've been to the fence.
You went to the fence.
Okay, any other questions, comments? This is for Gateway Services. I mean, I could add more, but I don't think you need more. I think that the deal's pretty well done here. I'm gonna be surprised if this doesn't go through. For $272,625, expanded services for Northridge, Denman, and Southview. Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Payne?
Yes.
Mrs. Schrader?
Yes.
Elder Parks?
Yes.
Pastor Miller?
Yes.
Mrs. Holler?
Yes.
Mrs. Gordon?
Absolutely, yes.
Dr. Ashton?
Yeah. Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you very much. I look forward to working with Michael in the continuing year.
And the board retreat, that's part of it.
Let me know when you guys want to come out.
I have to say, I was skeptical of this at first because I'm going, oh, really? Another gimmick of something to help us out because we've heard another curriculum thing, another weather. Is really horses? And then, but after a whole year of hearing from all of you and staff and kid and other people, it's got to be true because it's all been incredibly positive, and if it's 80% what it was, it's just phenomenal. So I'm in. So yeah, that's awesome. So look forward to next year's report, and that should be great. Okay, that brings us to, I'll be darned, informational items.
Yep. And comments. Can I do?
If you like, do them both
Okay.
together.
All right. So congratulations to our Northridge Middle School track state participants. Demario Jackson finished second in the 200-meter dash. The 8th grade girls on the relay took fourth, one of the fastest relays to ever be attributed to our team. Jada Bell placed 5th for the shot put. Samantha Brown placed 6th in the state for the pole vault. So congratulations to our girls. After all we've been through, elementary team, the first grade math challenge went off without a hitch. Good job. Thanks to WCIA for some positive coverage on our school events, and all the students were winners for participating. We were very impressed with how Danville and the Danville High, how you guys welcomed our students. Great job. Love you for that. So many celebrations and end of the year parties that are happening right now at all of the schools. The end of the year festivities included DHS's farewell and senior carnival, the 8th grade trip to Malibu Jacks for Northridge, and all of the building retirement parties recognizing our staff. And Miss Chair, great job DHS today. That was really, really sweet. Congratulations to all of our retirees who we honored on May 17th at the Board of Education Retiree Dinner. And congratulations to our graduates of Danville High School, whom we will honor on Saturday, May 27th, and our 8th graders who will step up to the high school tomorrow, May 25th, at their ceremony in the Dick Van Dyke Auditorium.
What time is that? Did anyone know? The tomorrow.
Obi.
What, pardon me?
1:30 in the afternoon.
Thank you. Okay, we went right to left before, that it?
Mm-hmm.
Left to right. Do you start for board comments?
It's been very interesting, listening to the different programs, and I'm excited to be out and about next year, so I can be more involved. I do want to mention a young man, I believe he went to Northeast elementary school. And he, a couple weeks ago, he saved his family. The apartment, the house was on fire, and he was able to alert his mother and get his siblings, and he was able to contact the police. And as a matter of fact, he was given a letter of commendation. The chief of police, Yates, had a program, and he was recognized for his behavior. And one day I would love to meet him.
Here, 'cause that is an awesome story.
I'd just like to also congratulate all of the students that will be graduating on Saturday. Congratulations again to the young ladies and their creative writing and poetry and how they were very successful this year. Just again, this program that we just heard information about how it's made a difference in Mark Denman. I'm sure it will make a difference in Northridge as well as Southview. It really gives me hope for our staff and all that they're doing to try to educate our students with the added stress of the challenges that our students are having. And this program has made it possible for not only the students, but for the staff to get the support that they need. And so I'm really, thanking God, that this program came along. We may not have had our principal sitting here like she said because of the stress level. So again, I'm grateful to Dr. Gittes who recommended it. And it seems to be really what we need. And I like the purpose of him adding extra attention to the elementary level because of getting it early, addressing it early, giving them tools early. And I'm gonna just shut up. But one last thing, that his presence is not there all the time, but the staff have now, tools and things that they can use for themselves as well as, for the students and for the parents. I like the parents element because we know as a board that we are having issues with students sometime and we need parental support. So we're grateful that this program was going to add all of that. And again, just glad for what I've heard tonight.
Thank you.
We have such great students and such great teachers in this district, and we hear it all the time. But thank you for recognizing it. Thank you from an outside person, Mr. Remley, for acknowledging what great staff we have and the kids who constantly make us proud. On that note, I would like to encourage all of you to attend Danville High School's production of, is it 29th or 25th?
25th.
25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee Musical. I know the kids have worked really hard. They were on WCIA, another very good promotion of great things that our students do. And that is tomorrow and Friday evening at 7 o'clock at Danville High School Auditorium. Another fine example of great kids doing great things.
Thank you.
Congratulations again to the recipients of the David L. Fields Excellence in Teaching Awards. Thanks again to the foundation and the DEA for, as well as the district for honoring those teachers, and also to the Golden Ruler Award winners. Congratulations. And to the graduates, it's just a few days, but you did it. You did it. You do well in those finals the next couple of days, but you did it. We're very proud of you. It has not been an easy road for these seniors. They've really seen a lot. They've seen stuff that we never would have seen in our era in school, and the fact that they have a lot to celebrate. We have a lot to be proud of. And teachers, you did it too. We're in the very last of the home stretch, and we're proud of you, district staff. We're proud of you for cutting it out on those days where sometimes it just doesn't know how you're going to make it. We're proud of you, and we're so grateful. Alyssa Staley, thanks for bringing those great kids to us today and always bringing us great news. We love to hear the great news, so thank you to the teachers and the principals who bring it. yes, go see the musical, and also to Gateway. The work that there's a lot of different places that you can provide lip service to stuff, or it's maybe the flavor of the week, like what are we going to throw it at this time? This Michael Remley and his group provide actual results that we can see are happening with our kids, and that has been my heart from the first moments of even wanting to be part of this board. So I am so grateful that we are, as a district, we've found kind of part of our secret sauce there in that collaboration. We're grateful. So that's me today. I'm grateful. I'm one grateful person to be a part of, I'm humbled to be a part of this experience.
I just wanted to say ditto to what has already been said regarding the students, what has been said about the teachers and the hard work that you all have put in this year. And I am so grateful that, Mike, you did not give up on Dr. Geddes. That she eventually saw the blessings that would come from it. And so we are appreciative of you and the work that you and Gateway continue to do here at the district. And so to the students that are going to be graduating, listen, now they're getting ready to apply what they've learned for the last 12 years. And we're going to see how well that works out for them. But our prayers go with them, because when they graduate and they get that diploma, life is just going to begin for them. I remember someone told me that, and I'm grateful to God that I saw the blessing in continuing to do further my education. Let me say that, and so to God be the glory. To Dr. Geddes, bless you. We know this year has not been easy for you, but you hung in there, and in doing so, the Lord's going to bless you for it. And I thank this board and all the work that you all have done this year, and to these new board members. As it was said the last time, your work is just beginning. And so we're going to be praying for you as we move forward. So to God be the glory.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to say this has been an actually wonderful night for me. A great way to start my term on the board, seeing the schools come in and the students come in and being able to recognize and award teachers. It was great. It was really great. I would like to congratulate the DHS archery team. They competed in nationals in Utah. They were on the bus for 30 hours there, and they got to shoot bullseye competition and 3D targets, which are the animal targets. They'd never really practiced on those. Danville brought home 3 team awards, so we placed nationally, and then we had several archers bring home individual awards. Again, when our students were getting the awards, they kept announcing Danville High School. They were just stunned. That was kind of new for them. So it was really fun to be able to watch the students get these awards and to be able to accomplish this through archery. I love this program. I would love to see it expand. I think it's really great for the students. It's an opportunity for all students, not just a particular group. It's very inclusive. It's just a great program. I want to thank Sergeant Powell. He took these students who he didn't even know very long, 30 hours on a bus. He did great. I'm really excited about the JRTC program. I cannot say enough good things. So whoever hired him, they did a wonderful job picking him. He's just doing great for the program. I also want to give a shout out to Lori Johnson and the team at Mead Park. I stopped in to visit as Lori was leaving with a group of students in a van, and they invited me to go. I'm like, where are you going? We're going to the Humane Society to read to dogs. You're going to what? So they explained it's a program they have, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's an incentive program. Students of the month. Okay, students of the month that they get to go. And these kids were so cute. They had their little books, and they actually go and read to the dogs in the Humane Society. And she was explaining the dogs are really hyper when they get there, but by the time the kids are reading and it's wrapping up, the dogs are calm. They're laying their heads in the students' laps. I was just amazed. I really do want to go. I just thought it was an absolutely great program. very excited to see that. So I kudos to the team at Me Park for that. And just, of course, the seniors that are graduating, good luck, guys. Congratulations on that, too. So just, it's a great night tonight.
Thank you. Everybody's pretty well congratulated everybody, so I don't really need to congratulate anymore. I mean, I'm just gonna say congratulations to everybody who needed to be congratulated. I'm gonna say something about the ROTC program. Shout out to them for the awards that they gave out. Kind of a program that we just don't get enough attention to. It goes on. The sergeant who took over is that guy's. He's good, and it's kind of nice to see he controls the group, shall I say? And it's nice to see. But there were a lot of awards given out that night, and it's good to see that. And like I said, 60 hours on a bus.
There and back, it was long.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't a yellow school bus.
No, it was a charter bus.
I just for those out there. Oh no, we put them on a yellow school bus for 60 hours. I mean, but they were on a bus it was a long bus ride. So kudos to them. The graduates. Looking forward to graduation. As we say, this is one of the favorite times of being on the board. We enjoy that. 6 o'clock on Saturday night. DEA, we're undergoing negotiations. We look forward to that, and that didn't get mentioned by anybody here. So that's on our schedule for coming up, because every other day for the rest of the summer, we're going to be doing something. So thank you for the horses. They're really awesome, you know. And with that, we are adjourned. And there is no closed session afterwards, so thank you very, very, very much.